Okay, welcome back to Economics. This is Dr. Kling. The name of this talk is Price Discrimination Explains Everything. And it's typically not a big focus of the AP, but I think it's a very, very important topic. Basically, if somebody walks up to me and says, Dr. Kling, you're an economist, can you explain why? And then I can pretty much say to myself, before they even ask the question, price discrimination. Because most of the questions about business practices revolve around that. So price discrimination is this. You have a firm that faces some kind of downward sloping demand curve. And you know that if you charge the same price for everybody, that the consumers get this surplus. That's this the triangle in here. That's consumer surplus. Okay, what price discrimination is an attempt to extract some of that consumer surplus by identifying the people up here, high up in the demand curve, charging them a higher price and charging a lower price lower in the demand curve. And as I indicated in the natural monopoly story, in some cases it's actually a good thing, price discrimination. It sounds bad. The word discrimination is bad, and charging two different prices sounds bad. But there are cases where it's actually, many cases where it's a good thing to do. And in any case, it explains a lot of behavior. For example, there's airline pricing. You know that if you go to a website for an airline and check their prices, every day those prices may change. And what they're trying to do is make sure that the last seat, let's say here, is occupied, and so they're willing to charge a very low price for the person who gets the last seat, so the standby passenger or whatever, or the person who's least sensitive to price, and they want to charge a high price to the passenger who's willing to pay more. So one of the ideas is if you're willing to book in advance, if you book far in advance, that's a signal that you're price sensitive. And if they're going to get you to go on this particular flight, they're going to have to offer you a low price. Whereas if you book days in advance, and in particular on a weekday, you look like a businessman. So you appear to be going to a business meeting, and so they think that you won't care much about price, and so they want to charge a high price. So that's what a lot of the game that the airline is playing, and it's all about price discrimination. Okay, here's another example. Why with the cereal box that has 18 ounces sells for less per ounce than 12 ounces? Okay, I think the reason for that, again, is price discrimination. If you walk in and you're looking for 12 ounces of cereal, then you must be kind of just desperate to get some cereal for breakfast. But if you walk in and you're willing to consider the 18 ounces, then you're price conscious. You're maybe buying for a more long term. You're considering storing it. Some of it, you're not going to eat it all in one morning. And so the thinking is this person who just wants 12 ounces must be in a hurry and is more desperate and less price sensitive. So you get to charge, so this person you get to charge a lot. They're way up in the demand curve. They're up here. And this person you charge less because they're down there. You don't want to lose them to a competing cereal company or what have you. And my guess is based on that, I would not expect, and you can check this in the store and see if I'm right, I would not expect big size discounts for generic cereal. You know, you have the store brand cereal, because people who buy generic, not brand name, people who buy generic are price sensitive. So you can't get them to pay a lot for the 12-ounce package. So you don't bother with that. So my hypothesis would be that the generic cereals would tend to come in one size and probably be more inclined to have the larger size than the smaller size. If somebody's in a hurry to buy the smaller size, then go ahead and have them pay the brand name markup. Another case of price discrimination: coupons and sales. What a coupon does is it allows you to sell at two prices. You can have a price for price-sensitive customers and they'll use the coupon. And the people who don't care, the price insensitive, you kind of hope that they don't bother to use the coupon. So again, you get to exploit both portions of the demand curve. And when you're running, the idea of running a sale, like the Black Friday sale, is that you get the price-sensitive customers wait for the sale. Sensitive, wait for the sale. But people who can't wait pay full price. People who can't wait pay full price. And that's, so again, it's a case of price discrimination. Possibly another example would be something like if you have I think Apple can get away with this, maybe other companies can't, but you have a really hot new toy / product. You charge a high price for two or 3 months, and that gets the people who are price insensitive, people that just have to have it, pay that. So they pay the high price, and then after a few months you lower the price, and that gets you the price sensitive people by at that point. So the bottom line is all sorts of real-world pricing behavior and price variation I think of as an attempt to price discriminate. And again, it's not always such a horrible thing because there are a lot of goods and services for which fixed costs matter. Oh wait, I forgot one more. I was going to stop the lecture, but I got to remember one more, which is popcorn at movies. Why is popcorn at movies so expensive? And my theory there is, again, it's sort of a price discrimination thing. You've got two moviegoers. You've got people who are going to see the movie, and they're somewhat price sensitive. They might or might not want to go to this particular movie, or they could conceivably wait until the movie comes out later. Of course, charging there's some price discrimination involved in just going from the movie in the theater to rental to cable to ordinary TV. I mean, you're sort of moving down the demand curve in each step of the way, and you're getting some people. The people who are most eager to see the movie will see it in the theater, and then people who are not quite as eager will do the rental, and then so on. So that's also price discrimination. But I want to go back to the issue of popcorn. Somebody who's going to a movie to treat the family or on a date is less sensitive to the overall cost of the movie. So what you'd like to do is take people who are going on a date or treating the family, and you want to charge them more for the movie. But of course you can't actually say, all right, you've got to pay $15, and the person who's just more curious about the movie itself, we're going to charge $10. But instead of charging you $15 for the movie, when I know you're willing to pay for it, I charge you the $10 that I charge everybody else, and I get the other $5 out of the popcorn. Because part of the experience of going on a date or taking the family out, we've somehow conditioned people to get the popcorn as part of that. And so we can get at least some of those people to, in effect, pay $15 for the movie by charging them a lot for popcorn. So it's, again, a form of price discrimination. Speaking of cable TV, why does cable TV not charge a la carte prices? That is, they make you buy bundles rather than paying for one thing at a time. And again, that is a case of price discrimination. The people who are really have to have one service, like say sports, will want it in their bundle, and we can therefore extract some of their consumer surplus. People who really have to have the cooking channel, we charge. We include that in that bundle, and we get those people. What happens is that we make the marginal cost of the cooking channel low. In effect, we make it low for the sports people, and we make the marginal cost of the sports channel low for the cooking people. Because presumably the marginal cost of actually supplying the channel, the actual cost of physically making that available is probably close to zero. So we want these people to get all the channels. That's the objective, because the marginal cost of providing the channel is zero. But we want to make them pay as if they were paying for the most valuable channels. And so we create these bundles to do that. So there are all these tricks that are really designed for price discrimination. So the cable TV, if you had them pay their marginal cost a lot of them wouldn't. You could hardly charge anything for the cooking channel to the sports guy, and you could hardly charge anything to the sports channel to the cooking guy. But uh, with the bundling, you can kind of get everyone to contribute to paying for what amounts to a gigantic fixed cost to provide the cable. So you're able to sort of move further up the demand curve by using the bundled pricing. Because if you charge, let's say, marginal cost of the cooking channel to the sports guy, then you'd also have to charge the marginal cost of the cooking channel to the cooking guy, and so you'd be down here for everything. But doing the bundle means you can be up here for everything, and so that's the advantage of that. So again, price discrimination explains everything. If you're actually asked to explain a real business phenomenon, the first thing you should think about is how does that particular business strategy or pricing strategy allow a company to get both ends of the demand curve at once. The price sensitive people down here can pay a low price, and the price insensitive people up here pay a high price. That's price discrimination, and figuring out how to do it is a big part of business strategy.